And that is why I said that Ethiopia has just taken a gamble, because these days taking an IMF loan is like gambling with your life. Up until yesterday, they had a fixed exchange rate. Their currency, the Ethiopian birr, would trade at a fixed rate. That's the system they had. On Friday, this was a bit more than 57 birr for $1. But yesterday, this fixed rate was scrapped with immediate effect. Do you know what happened then? Their currency crashed. It lost about 30% of its value. At the end of the day, it was trading at about 75 birr to the dollar. The IMF says this is a good thing. It says all currencies should have market-driven exchange rates, and in the long run, this will help Ethiopia. Now, this may be true because Ethiopia was facing a chronic foreign exchange shortage, because the fixed rate did not accurately reflect the value of their currency. So no one really wanted to give Ethiopia dollars at that price. A market-driven exchange rate will be more accurate, and it should help bring in more dollars. But there's a problem here. What happens if the currency, the birr, keeps plummeting? What happens if the markets decide that the currency is worthless? The birr could go into free fall. And this could further crush the Ethiopian economy because the country is facing a drought. It needs to import food and other essentials. What happens when those crucial items keep becoming more expensive because your currency keeps losing its value? And this is not some theoretical problem. Just look at Nigeria. Nigeria did the exact same thing last year. It ended its fixed exchange rate and let the markets take over, again at the insistence of the IMF. Look at the result. Last June, 400 Nigerian naira were worth $1. A few days ago, it was about 1,500 naira to the dollar. Nigeria's currency has crumbled. It shows no signs of recovery or stabilization, and this has led to a surge in inflation, affecting the poorest sections of society. The most vulnerable Ethiopians now face the same risk, thanks to the IMF's loan conditions. Now, you know that protests are breaking out across Africa. They began in Kenya last month. The people were protesting against Kenya's annual budget. The budget called for increasing taxes. Do you know why? So that the Kenyan government could appease the IMF. This is what sparked the protests in Kenya. Protests are about to begin in Nigeria as well on the 1st of August. And part of the reason is the cost of living crisis there. Again, caused in part by the IMF. So it is a pattern. The IMF comes in, it promises to give loans, but demands a steep price, eventually leading to hardship and chaos for the poorest sections of society. The IMF is based in Washington, D.C. It's a Western financial institution, and it is breaking the backs of the poor. Obviously, that reflects poorly on the West. The US and its allies want to influence Africa. They don't want to lose the continent to their rivals, Russia and China. But at the same time, a Western lender is impoverishing African nations. It is no wonder that some of these countries prefer loans from China, no matter how steep the cost. Because it seems the IMF loans are somehow always worse.